It is the Riot Podcast. This is the Thursday, January 27th edition. This is Isaiah's last day on, well, I mean, that makes it sound like you're going away for one day. You'll be back on Monday.
Yeah.
But this is Isaiah's last day of filling in. Nikki will be taking back over tomorrow, although we'll be in two separate studios. And Monday is going to be a big party.
The whole gang.
Yep.
Makes
back
the
together.
return.
Back together.
And that'll be, I'm excited for Monday. I'm excited for Nikki to return, get back on here. I miss Nikki's happiness in the mornings. You know? It's just her personality, just so fun in the morning time. We've all missed Nikki, so I'm excited for her to be back. But today, on the final Hudson and Isaia show, we talked about pretty much all the things you would expect. We tossed in a little bit of NFL in there, of course. We had to slide that in. While Nikki was away, we had to do as much sports talk as possible.
We did.
But one thing that I thought was very interesting, and I want to do a deeper dive on this, which was when we talked about how we think that octopus are from space. And I did have a question to follow up on that with you. So are you a believer in aliens? We never even went into this.
Yeah, we didn't, did we?
Are you a believer in aliens?
I don't know. I tend to think how old is the Earth? I mean, that's a loaded question, but
couple billion years, right?
I mean, the Earth has been around a long time. We'll say that. And you would think at some point we would have encountered aliens by now.
Yeah.
Like a real official, I know some people are like the government's keeping it under wraps. You really think they could keep it under wraps? You really believe in our government that much and every government around the globe that they would be able to keep aliens under wraps
for that long,
and that aliens, if they came, would be so secretive about it that they wouldn't be like, "Hey, we're the aliens," or that they would even care, or they wouldn't consider themselves aliens. So I just think the odds are unlikely. Even though the odds technically are likely, just because of like the infinite Earths that are out there. I
think there are aliens. I would say my reasoning is this is what I've always thought. I think that the government could have kept it secret first. I would say up until like now. Now you can't. With like phones and stuff, videos, completely different. 1960s, 70s, 80s.
Sure.
You could keep a lot secret then. Yeah. If somebody saw it happen, nobody believes them. There's no videos.
Right.
There's a lot of people out there that say they've seen spaceships, aliens, all that stuff. We don't believe them because they don't have any proof of it. But now you can't hide it anymore. And I would argue that there was no reason for aliens to come here before now, because now it's like a movie. Okay. Now our technology is advanced enough to where they're like, okay, well, Earth is kind of starting to do things, you know?
You think?
They've got phones, you know, they have some rockets going on. They're touching space a little bit. It's time to put them in their place.
Think about this, though. If you're an alien and they're progressing faster than Earth, or they started earlier or something like that, then wouldn't one of their missions at first be to just go to a planet where they found people? If they found people here first, they'd be like, you know, if they were anywhere close, then they would have come here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They wouldn't care about our technology. They'd just be like, can we go and find, just like we're doing, can we go find life on another planet? Why would they not be having the same thought process and just come here? And do we even have conversations when we think, can we find life on another planet? And then it's like, are we going to lie to them? Are we going to be secretive? No, we're just going to show up. We're just going to bust down the door, walk onto the planet, and see what happens.
You know, and then the other thing we can always consider, which you talked about a little bit on the show, is that we always can think that aliens be more advanced than us. Yeah. What if we're like the top tier in the entire galaxy?
That's the only explanation is we are the most advanced race. And then no other creature, no other alien, no matter where they are in the universe, has caught up to us. Yes. And so that's why they haven't come to us, because they're not as smart as we are.
They're not as smart as we are.
That's the only explanation, right?
Yeah, I would say so. And then I would say the other aliens, I would say they just haven't been able to get to space yet. They aren't out here. But I would guarantee that they are more physically enabled than we are.
Here's one more thing I just thought of. Let's say like the universe is just constantly expanding. Like there's infinite possibilities out there, right? So that being said, one of those infinite possibilities is the odds are, and technically in that scenario, that one of the planets that has a race on it, one of those races would be so advanced that they would have, even if they're so far away, that they would have been able to reach us and had reason to, because there's just infinite possibilities.
Yeah.
But they haven't. So all that said, I think we just proved aliens do not exist.
No, we're the top dog. That's what we proved.
Yeah.
We're the top dog, baby.
We're the top anyway.
We're the top dog, baby. Just like we thought all along.
And so that's in the podcast.
That's a lot in the podcast. We also talked a little bit about a mom who was confused about her son's birthday. We talked some NFL. We talked a little bit about how we have a new, not cure for COVID, but something that could help you try to deter it.
Allegedly,
of course.
Or help you contract it also.
Yeah, or help you contract it. And then we also talked about how I'm heading to Florida, some plane talk, and then we also did a great interview with Russ from Rusty Shipp.
Yes, you got to stick around for the interview with Russ from Rusty Shipp. That's right near the end of the podcast. But if you just can't wait, you can go find it on the RadioU Riot Facebook page or our YouTube channel or in our Just Straight Up Interviews podcast. You can just skip right there. You can do all that. We'll be back with you. I will, and Nikki will, tomorrow for the podcast. And Isaiah, have a nice trip.
I'll see you guys on Monday.
We'll catch you next time.
Hudson sees the glass as half empty.
But get this.
He thinks a glass half empty is good. The Riot. RadioU.
There's nothing like a mother's love for her child.
That is true.
Yeah.
I would say that's pretty accurate. Yeah, I don't think there's anything like that.
There's nothing like it. And you think as a child sometimes, like for most people, you think your mom can do no wrong. She knows everything. Like nobody knows her. Nobody knows you as well as she does. And she's got it all taken care of. She's got it all organized, all set up. But some moms even can fail a little bit. Like this mom here on TikTok. Her name is Emily. And She was trying to sort out a billing issue with her doctor's office. They were calling her. They're like trying to get something sorted out with the insurance and saying that her son's birthday was on the 25th. And she's like, no. I know my son. I gave birth to him, and I definitely gave birth to him on the 26th. So this goes on for a little bit. Finally, she decides for whatever reason to go back and look on her Facebook page for the announcement for when the baby was born. And you know when it was?
Not the day she wanted it to be?
It was the 25th. And she had been saying 26. Now, that might be one thing if, it was a newborn baby. Although then it'd be like, why did you forget so quickly?
Yeah.
But this is something that she celebrated. I don't know how old the child is exactly, but she had been celebrating. This child had several birthdays. This had been celebrating.
His third birthday was coming up.
Third birthday. So all the previous birthdays have been celebrated on the wrong day. Now, fortunately, I guess this kid is too young to know yet. She said this is a mom celebrating the kid's birthday on the wrong. She doesn't even know her child's birthday.
Yeah, that's tough. I feel like especially when they're so young, like that should be very well known. If you have a couple kids going along, like if you're like 3 or 4 kids and they're like 16 and you're trying to like keep their birthdays straight,
yeah, sure.
That's one thing. But like a 2-year-old, I feel like at that point you probably should still be on top of that.
You should be on top of it. Now she says she feels bad, especially because it is her middle child.
Oh, of course it is.
Yeah, so the middle child always kind of gets the short end of the stick.
That's how it
goes. Doesn't get all the
goes.
attention. And already this child, only 3 years old, not even 3 years old yet, already getting that kind of treatment.
Yeah, she forgot the middle child's birthday already, and it's only been alive for 2 years. And I can't believe they've been actively celebrating the birthday. Like nobody else, like obviously dad.
Yeah, you would think somebody else would have remembered.
Grandma.
But how do you question a mom, right?
Older brother / sister, like somebody else couldn't remember that it was the 25th, not the 26th. I mean, I don't get it.
God bless the doctor's office that was calling her to tell her, because nobody else wants to do that.
No.
Nobody else wants to, even if you know you're right, you don't want to be like, hey, Emily, not quite sure you have your child's birthday right.
I feel like it was actually the 25th, but you keep on doing this on the 26th.
You're not going to win that argument.
No, but also, does it really matter, though? Does it really matter whenever you think your birthday is?
She was only off by a day.
She was off by one day, so she was close. Like my birthday, July 14th, right? If I had celebrated my birthday on July 15th every day for my entire life, wouldn't it have really mattered ever?
What would fundamentally change about your life?
Nothing.
Probably
nothing would.
at all.
No, I mean, realistically, what are you doing on your birthday anyway? You're opening some gifts.
Yeah.
You're eating some cake. I mean, that's all you're really doing.
A lot of people don't even celebrate the birthday on the birth. You don't have the real celebration because you just wait till the weekend when everybody's available for a party.
Yeah, exactly. So if my birthday's on a Wednesday, I mean, I'm not celebrating until Saturday. Maybe on Wednesday I'm going to have like my own little piece of pie or something.
Yeah, maybe
it's going to be like a solo party.
Maybe you go to Applebee's and get them to sing for you. But other than that, yeah. So you know what? I think we need to tell this woman.
It's okay.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. You could not even celebrate a birthday.
You don't have to celebrate it. Change it.
I mean, the kid's 2 years old.
If
Doesn't
it's in the
even know
way,
yet.
just change it.
Hudson, Nikki, The Riot on Radio U.
Since you're going to be out tomorrow, you know what we need to talk about today.
What do we need to talk about?
We got to talk some football.
A little NFL football.
Yeah, we're down to. Can you believe we're down to 3 more football games and then the season is over? And then we
it's
have to
almost
go
over.
Months and months and months of excruciating months with no football.
Well, we've got the NFL draft. You know, that'll be around the corner quickly.
We have the USFL. I think I might be a big USFL
No,
guy.
you won't.
I think I will.
Do you have a team yet?
No, I got to go look.
They've announced the names. I saw they announced those.
Remember, though, they've announced the names, but all of the games are in... they're all
Same
in one
place.
locale,
Yeah.
so it's not even like you can go to a game.
No, even
So
if your
that's kind of
team
a bummer.
was in your city, you couldn't even go.
Yep, doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, that was a little bit
Anyways.
disappointing.
But that's we'll get to that when that comes, when the spring comes around.
Yeah.
In the meantime, the NFL, 2 games this weekend: Bengals, Chiefs, Rams, and 49ers. I need some picks, some leans. Who are you going with?
Okay, so for the AFC championship game, that's the Bengals Chiefs game.
Right.
I think that it's a close game, but I think the Chiefs do pull it out against the Bengals. I think they do. I think Patrick Mahomes is gonna overcome the Bengals. I think what really hurts the Bengals is they beat the Chiefs at the end of the regular season.
Yeah.
Hard to beat a team twice. It just is, especially a good team. It's hard not to split with good teams. I think they're going to split. I think the Chiefs are going to get the win. They're going to go to the Super Bowl yet again for what is this, like the 3rd year in a row they're going to get the Super Bowl? I think they're going to.
Yeah, I think it would be, but I know what you're saying, and I actually agree that in a way, winning a few weeks ago during the regular season, the Bengals over the Chiefs could be detrimental to a lot of teams. I think when it's against a team like the Chiefs, I think for the Bengals, it gives them belief. I think it
they
helps
can win.
them. Yeah, I mean, some of these teams, you go up against the Chiefs, and it's like, how are we ever going to possibly be able to score to keep up with these guys? But the Bengals know they can do it, and they know they can slow them down because they did allow a lot of points in the first quarter or the first half of that game against the Chiefs. But the second half, they stopped them cold.
Oh, yeah.
So I think that's going to work in their favor. So I'm just gonna go out and say it. I think the Bengals are going to win.
You think the Bengals are going to win?
You know, another thing to add on is that nobody seems to really be latching onto is the Chiefs. Like, that game last week was crazy, and now so everybody's thinking, oh, the Chiefs are just unbeatable. They can win a game like that. They can win anything. Yeah, but think about how much that game must have taken out of them.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
And I know the Bengals. Obviously, they had a playoff game last weekend too. It went to the last minute. It was also probably a little draining. But they have an extra day. I think that was probably energizing for them. Whereas the Chiefs, like, that probably took a lot out of you.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Do that kind of game. So I'm kind of going with the Bengals. I think they've got an upset brewing.
A little upset happening.
I mean, if I'm in truth, I probably think they keep it close. But why not? Why not just go out on a limb and say they just win?
So you want to talk about upsets?
Yeah.
Then we look over in the NFC where the 49ers take on the Rams, and the Rams are a heavy favorite in this game, as the Packers were as well. Everybody remembers what happened there.
Don't remind me.
This 49ers team, they have a solid defense. The Rams offense is great. They have a great defense. I think this is a tall order for the 49ers to overcome this Rams team. I think the Rams end up getting the win here. I want the 49ers to win. I do. I'm cheering for the 49ers to win just for the upset, but I think the Rams end up on top. I think they're just too much to handle. Their defense is too good. Their offense is too good. They have too much star power. Cooper Kupp is playing so good right now.
Yeah.
And Matthew Stafford is hitting his stride. He knows that this is his chance to really lay his legacy in the line, you know?
Yeah. This is agreement from me. The Rams, they got their monkey kind of off their back last week where they could have blown the game against the Buccaneers. And you could say, if I'm being consistent, well, they probably had a similar situation to the Chiefs where they're probably really spent after that. Yeah, but so are the 49ers. The 49ers had a really tough game in the cold. And if you watch that game, they had players walking off left and right. Everybody on that team seems to be in a much more injured situation, even if they're still playing, than the Rams. And the Rams, when they just played a couple weeks ago, the Rams had really nothing to gain. The 49ers needed the game to stay alive, and they were still down 17-0. And the Rams probably just kind of took their foot off the gas at that point. So I think I'm going to see a Rams-Bengals Super Bowl is what I'm going with.
Yeah, I'm thinking Rams-Chiefs, so we're both in agreement that the 49ers have a tough week ahead of them. But I will say, the 49ers and the Rams have seen each other a couple times this year, so it makes it, that kind of adds that little bit extra in there.
Yeah, it's hard to say that we will see a couple games as good as the games we got last week. Almost impossible, but doesn't mean they won't be really good.
You never know.
Fun. We're going to get a day full of football on Sunday.
The Riot Podcast. RadioU.
Check out this study. This is crazy. It's in regards to COVID-19. It was published in the Journal of Frontiers in Nutrition.
Oh,
it sounds prestigious, doesn't it?
Sounds pretty legit.
That's
okay.
a name. Is that a name you can trust?
Frontiers of what is it? Nutrition.
Frontiers in Nutrition.
Okay, sounds all right.
And they found in this study, they found a link between drinking and not getting COVID-19.
When you say drinking, you mean like...
I mean drinking alcohol.
See, that doesn't seem like those would really go hand in hand.
Yeah,
Usually, alcohol has a pretty negative effect on your body.
I think we need to read a little further into this, but so it's not just drinking across the board. What they found was people who drank 1 to 2 glasses of red wine a day had 10 to 17% lower risk of contracting COVID-19 than people who didn't drink at all.
See, what is it with red wine? I don't get it. I feel like red wine is like a prestigious thing. Like if you're drinking red wine, that's like fancy. It doesn't really seem like you're drinking alcohol, as well as...
I can assure you that not everybody drinking red wine is fancy.
Yeah, that's also true. But and it's also, isn't it supposed to be like, I'm pretty sure red wine is also like anti-aging. It's supposed
That's what they say.
It's supposed to like make you not get wrinkles and whatnot.
Well, all of this is what the red wine lobby wants us to be saying.
That is true.
But I always find it a little skeptical, especially when red wine compared to even like white wine or other things. It always is like red wine's so much better. And it's like,
I know.
Is it really how can it actually be so much better? But that's this study. This is so what happened was, this is a hospital in China, and they went through and analyzed data that was health data that has been collected by for 500,000 residents of the UK. So they're really they were combing through the data and trying to find different things that they could learn. And one of the things that they learned through all of this data is that if you were a regular red wine drinker, 1 or 2 glasses a day, you had 10 to 17% lower risk of contracting COVID-19. If you were to drink white wine drinkers were 7 to 8% lower risk. But they did note that that's if you're drinking 5 or less glasses per week.
Okay, so like
So moderate consumption.
Yeah, moderate consumption, 5 or less glasses a week. So like 1 every weeknight, or maybe 1 glass on a Saturday, a couple one during the week.
If you just keep it in check.
Yeah, you don't do anything too crazy with it.
I mean, some might say even if you're doing almost 1 per night.
That's a lot.
For some people, that's a lot.
Yeah.
Now, here's the kicker, though. If you were somebody who frequently drank beer or cider, you had a 28% higher chance of catching the virus, contracting COVID-19.
So beer is in the way. Beer is not the wave to avoid the COVID.
It almost sounds like you're guaranteed. I mean, they kind of say eventually everybody's going to catch COVID-19 anyways. But if you're drinking beer, you're going to catch it way quicker.
You want to speed up the process.
Yeah,
you want to get if let's say you have maybe a vacation coming up in a couple weeks.
Yeah.
And you're like, man, I kind of want to get it out of the way. Then that'd be the way to do it, I guess.
Yeah, maybe so. I don't see what I don't know is because it would be a lot. It was a lot for them to come through. It's a lot for us to come through and read it all. But what I want to know is it do you think it's more of a lifestyle thing where it's not that the wine itself would be preventing you from contracting COVID-19, but maybe if you are more of a wine drinker than a non-drinker or even a beer drinker, maybe you're a little more isolated. Like that's something where you just enjoy a nice glass of wine at home or something.
Watch a movie.
And maybe you're a little more well-to-do where you're able to work from home, not be out at your job somewhere. I mean, I don't know. There's some kind of correlations you could find that might not necessarily be just because of some kind of benefit of red wine itself.
See, because red wine, when I think of red wine, I think of just like laying on the couch, watching a movie, hanging out at the house. Where I feel like that's
what you think of, huh?
That's what I think of. I think you're watching a show.
You don't think of ladies' night?
Ladies' night,
a
possibly.
big weekend.
Nah, I don't think
girls'
so much
trip.
No. not so much. It's more of like a relaxing
Well, that's like
thing.
sangria, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. So it's more of a relaxation thing. And if you're relaxing at your house, I think that does correlate with not getting COVID.
Yeah.
Typically.
You can't get COVID if you never see anybody.
Exactly. So when you're isolated drinking red wine, that's the safest spot you can be, I guess.
I mean, if you're isolated, you can drink whatever you want.
You can drink
You're
water.
still not going to get COVID.
Yeah, you're not going to drink water. Yeah, you're not going to get COVID.
Stay at home all the time. That's the only way you can 100% guarantee.
But if you want it, then you have to drink beer.
Apparently.
Everything you love about the Riot, plus a handy dandy fast forward option. This is the Worst of the Riot podcast.
It's time for another special guest. Nikki is on the show this morning. Good morning, Nikki.
Aw, I get to come back tomorrow, guys. Isaiah's leaving for vacation tomorrow, so I thought it was time I finally came back to do the show with Hudson.
Wow, it's finally the time you're forced to come back.
I
we
know.
have no other options.
How long would she be out for if I wasn't taking a vacation?
Well, you normally don't go back to work on a Friday, do you?
No, never
of
on a
course
Friday.
Not, of course not.
Monday. Hey, I know that it's harder because, obviously I'm pretty much almost 100% back from, COVID and stuff, but I can't be in the same room so close to Hudson. So Monday is when we can officially be back all together in the same room together. But tomorrow I'll just be in this small little room at RadioU.
Monday's
right.
going to be a big party. We're going to be, I'm assuming we're going to be eating stuff because we've been holding off on some food fights. We're going to be breathing all over each other. It's going to be fantastic.
Sharing Q-tips, all the good stuff,
Oh, I miss breathing all over everybody. I'm so excited.
It's going to be wonderful. I wanted to ask.
Yeah, go ahead.
Now, I wanted to ask, obviously you're getting up early to call in for this show, but how has your sleep schedule been with 2 weeks where you've been quarantined?
Well, believe it or not, if you don't have to get up early, you tend not to. So you're staying up late. And no matter how well you feel, it's not even just COVID, but anytime you have a cold, no matter how well you feel during the day, no one feels good in the morning.
Yeah, that's
true.
true.
I've been getting up later. So I've been trying to practice these last few days to get up earlier and earlier. So I think I should be okay tomorrow.
So it sounds like there's still a chance I'll be doing some of the show solo tomorrow.
The first couple breaks, make sure not to count on Nikki for those.
Could be up in the air.
No, that's just because I want it to be an air of mystery, okay? I want to have drama with me coming back. But no, I'll be back tomorrow morning, I guess.
Well, sometimes you got to keep people on there. Roger Clemens, he's a baseball pitcher. He just missed out on getting to the Baseball Hall of Fame yesterday, but he used to put icy hot in his pants because he needed to be uncomfortable. It said he said it helped him perform better during games. Sometimes you just got to be uncomfortable. You got to not know what's happening to perform your best.
That's your example?
That's the weirdest comparison I've ever heard. Nikki's like, I haven't really been waking up early because I haven't felt very good. Hudson's like, well, Roger Clemens used to put icy hot in his pants. Like, what are you talking about?
That's what you come up with. Oh, boy. Now I really can't wait to return tomorrow.
Yeah, sorry.
I just can't wait to be uncomfortable.
When I think Roger Clemens was in the news yesterday, when I think Roger Clemens, the first thing I think 100% is icy hot in the pants.
And the second thing you think is not waking up
early. It horrifies me to think. I think that's why I could never be a baseball pitcher because I'm not that committed to success either.
You're not. Let's see how you are with radio. How much are you willing?
I'm not willing to put icy hot in my pants. I'll
Not
tell you
yet,
that
anyway.
Right now.
Well,
All
I am looking forward to coming back tomorrow, and it will be comfortable and we'll be fine.
The worst podcast with the best listeners. This is the Worst of the Riot podcast.
Now, Isaiah, you have your vacation. You are heading out to Florida. You're flying out. What, tonight, tomorrow?
Tonight. I'm leaving tonight. So
tonight.
When you're getting ready for bed tonight, just do a quick think of me, as I'm loading onto the plane.
Why don't you just put a little post maybe from the?
Oh yeah,
you like
guys
to do
just
the post where you take a picture out the wing of the plane or something.
Oh, people love doing that.
Yeah, on the Twitter, on the Instagram. You want to do that?
Yeah, I'll put a selfie of me loading onto the plane today.
Yeah, that's a good idea. So did you check in for your flight?
I did check in for my flight approximately 11 minutes ago.
But what, you're flying out tonight.
See, I forgot to check in. I'm not like I don't know how to.
You don't fly much, do you?
I've flown a lot in my life. Have I ever been in charge of the check-in? Only a couple of times when I've been in charge of the check-in.
And you probably failed.
I failed every single time. Whenever I go on a trip with my friends, and I'm like the one of the group who has to do everything right. I'm the one who books the flight. I'm the one who has to check in. We're never in Group A.
Yeah.
That's never happening.
Yeah.
Nor are we in Group B. I'm in Group C right now, so I'm not going to be loading in the front of the plane.
I've been a Group A-er before.
Oh, have you?
Yeah. Oh, I'm a great check.
You check in?
If you've got to check in for a flight, leave it to me. I will take care of it for you.
You got yourself in Group A.
You want to text me when your return flight is? Give me your flight information. I'll check in for you.
That'd be great if you could do that.
Got it taken care of. Got it taken care of.
Awesome. I was not on top of it. I completely forgot. Honestly, I was supposed
which
to do it
group
last
are you
night.
in?
I'm in Group C. And I don't even know.
C.
Now listen. So what's the deal with children get on first? Is there a rule with that?
What are you flying? Southwest?
I'm flying Southwest.
Yeah. So like the VIPs or whatever, the people that pay extra, they should be Group A, and then
Congrats on all your success.
Sometimes there's some extra space in Group A. I think for the people like me that check in, that don't pay extra but do check in early, you can get in the tail end of Group A, and then. Obviously, if you have, if you need assistance or if you're like a veteran or something, they probably let you go on first. But then after Group A, I think is when the children go. Then Group B.
When you say the children go, what are we talking about? Children
if you're
go
a
here?
family, it
Kids?
doesn't matter. Yeah, it doesn't matter when you check in. You just get to go after Group A.
Is that because they want
See, that never worries me because I always get to go before them.
See, now listen. So does that mean so that the kids can sit with their parents or something? Is that what it is?
Yeah, because it's all Southwest isn't assigned seating.
Gosh.
Right? So
Listen here.
I've been on Southwest several times.
They can sit alone.
The children
That's
can sit
my
on their
stance. I don't care how old she is. She's 5 years old. She can sit alone.
Yeah. Well, hold on a second. You're flying with what? You're not going alone, right?
I'm going with my roommate Andrew.
Did he check in?
I checked in for us both.
You did?
Yeah.
Oh, man, I'd be so upset if I was him right now.
Why? He didn't check in. He didn't even remind me.
Yeah, right. You're right. I guess he has his own. Because I was going to say, if he checked in first, he could just make it look like you guys could sit together, have decent seats.
You're right.
But what are you going to do? You're going to, now you're going to be stuck at the back of the plane in the middle seat, and you guys aren't going to be sitting together.
Yeah, that's going to stink. If I'm I swear, if I'm in the middle seat, and there's two people next to me, and I'm getting sweated on, and I'm getting crowded in, I'm gonna be so upset.
And you're going to Florida in the middle of winter.
Yep.
So it's gonna be a
direct
crowded
flight either. It's not
a direct flight.
Nope, it's not direct. Wait a minute, do I have to check into a second flight? How does it work?
You know what? I don't even know about that.
Oh no,
I can't even remember.
I don't think I do. I think I'll probably be Group C for both.
Your trip is off to a terrible start.
No, it'll all work out. I'll just weasel my way into a good seat.
You saying it'll all work out is what led you to this point.
It'll all
That's
work out.
That's what led Sydney to probably not going to Hawaii.
Listen, it's all gonna work out, and I'm gonna weasel my way into a good seat. I'm gonna have a window seat, maybe an aisle seat. I'm not sitting middle. I guarantee. I come back on Monday. I guarantee I will not sit in a middle seat. It's not a direct flight either way. I've got 4 plane flights ahead of me.
Yeah,
I guarantee
you're not going to get a middle seat.
You won't find me in a middle seat the whole time.
Are you gonna trade? Are you gonna offer to trade with people?
I'll just kind of sweetheart my way around.
It's harder to do on a Southwest flight when the kids get to sit with their parents and they just kind of prearrange that.
Listen,
so
I'm gonna charm my way around. I'll kick the kids out. I don't care about the children. They can sit by themselves.
Sit wherever. Yeah, as long as they don't have to sit near you. I guess.
Exactly. They can move away.
Why pay for so many streaming services that you don't really care about when you can not really care about the Riot for free? RadioU.
First, I want to ask you one more question, Isaiah, about your flight, your trip. I was thinking, you say there's no way you're going to get stuck with a middle seat.
I can solely guarantee if I come back on Monday and I have sat in the middle seat, everybody can be disappointed in me. I guarantee I do not sit middle. I'll work. I will take my time. I'm not afraid to be the person standing up on the plane looking for a seat for an extended period of time. That's fine with me.
Do you consider you've flown several times though?
Yeah, I've flown a bunch in my life. Yeah.
Is being in the middle seat the worst thing you can think of happening on a plane? I mean, obviously there's horrible things that can happen, but just the standard bad thing that can happen?
I think the worst things that can happen to you on a plane, middle seat, I wouldn't say is the worst thing, but I would say middle seat, maybe if you're sitting in between, maybe someone who smells kind of bad.
Yeah.
That's a long flight. Or someone who's like on top of you.
Yeah.
If you're sitting middle seat and you've got two people next to you that are a little bit too nice, a little bit too cuddly, you don't know them, then that's a pretty tough way. Or
I never know the armrest etiquette especially when you're in the middle seat. Because it feels like you should get, since you're stuck in the middle, you should get the benefit of the armrest.
Would you try to secure one or no?
What? How do you secure it?
I mean, there's someone
just like muscle the other two.
Someone's
people
gonna secure one. I mean, it's gonna be somebody, or no one's gonna touch it at all. It depends who you're sitting next to. I just didn't know if you would be the one to go for it.
I think you should get both armrests. I think
both.
Whoa! If you're on either side, you've got the benefit.
Aggressive.
You've got the window, and you've got an armrest guaranteed.
So you're doubled up.
Yeah, you should. That should be the bonus.
Interesting.
That's the best way to even out.
That does make sense, but that's not how it happens.
No, it's not.
If it's me, I'm trying to secure one.
Yeah,
I would try to.
Feel good about one.
It would be my right arm because that way I can like rest my phone on it. I would have to secure at least one armrest if I'm sitting middle seat. But I hope if I know if I'm sitting middle, I'm gonna get crushed. I'm not like a very big person.
Yeah, that's
I'm a
true.
smaller guy, which is very good for being on the plane. I'm glad I'm not like super tall or anything where it'd be very uncomfortable. But at the same time, when you're a smaller person on the plane, a lot of times someone who is larger than you is gonna kind of like lean into you a little, get that extra room that you weren't taking up. All of a sudden I'm shoulder to shoulder with somebody I don't know, and oftentimes they're not gonna smell very good either.
You don't want that. One more question, quick, before we talk to Rusty Shipp in a minute. Are you a plane talker? You gonna strike up a conversation with a stranger? Because you're pretty sociable.
I am a social person. It depends who I'm sitting around. If I feel that I have anything possibly in common with the person, I'm not gonna strike up a conversation with someone who doesn't look interested in talking at all. Like the worst situation you can be in is when you're a person that doesn't like to talk on a plane, or like doesn't really all that social when someone's trying to talk to you. That is the worst.
That's
you're just like, leave me alone. I don't want to talk to you. You're weird. Why are you talking on a plane? But
that is the worst thing I would rather sit in the middle seat than sit in either of the other seats and get somebody beside me who just won't shut up.
Oh.
Like a la John Candy and Planes, Trains, and Automobiles.
No, I would straight up a conversation if someone looked like they were interested in having a conversation with me, but it's not going to be like, I'm not talking to you off the whole flight. I'll have a conversation with them, see if we have anything in common. If it's vibing, then we'll continue to talk. But if it doesn't really seem like it's going anywhere, I'll just put in my headphones and just carry on with my
that's
way.
a power. Sometimes you can just put your headphones in before you even sit down.
That's what you would do.
It's totally
you
what
don't
I
even
would
give
do.
them a chance.
Yep, exactly.
You're
don't
not making
it.
friends on the plane.
But the one I did, I'll tell you, one time, and this was so unlike me. One time, I struck up a conversation with the person next to me.
Was she cute?
It was a guy. He was playing. Do you remember the game Crossy Road?
Yeah.
He was playing Crossy Road.
There you go.
So I was like, "How's the Crossy Road going?" And it was like it was another person took over my body.
All of a sudden, it wasn't even you. You were floating, watching yourself.
I was like, "Why are you talking to this man?" It turned out he was actually really interesting. He was from Sicily. He was Italian, flying to Arizona or something like that.
Wow.
Yeah.
You never knew you'd meet your best
maybe
friend
it's
on a
not so
plane.
bad to talk to people on a plane.
Yeah, there you go.
But he probably didn't want to talk to me at all.
He probably hated every second of it. You had the time of your life.
If they keep talking long enough, they're bound to say something that you agree with. The Riot with Hudson and Nikkis on Radio U.
It is The Riot on Radio U. We have a special guest joining us this morning. It is a momentous morning. We have Russ from Rusty Shipp, and coming up in just a few minutes, we're going to be playing their brand new song that is out today. So it's a huge morning for you. Good morning, Russ.
Good morning, everybody. Ahoy. Hope everybody's doing well on these salty seas out here. Just fine.
I love the wheel in the background. If you're watching on the Radio U Facebook page, you can see Rusty Shipp. That's not just a name. You act accordingly. You've got the attire and everything going on.
We go all in. Yeah. Right now, as I'm taking the time to do this interview, I just put the ship on autopilot.
There you go.
The back. So I've got an octopus actually steering it. You can see the octopus on there.
Nice.
He's my second in command.
The first mate.
Yeah, the first mate.
The first mate. Rusty, I was looking, Russ, I guess. I was looking back at your Facebook feed, and it looks like a few months ago you got married, or did you just go on the honeymoon a few months ago?
That's true.
Yeah? How is the...
There was a wedding associated with the honeymoon. So, yeah. And of course, we went to the beach. You gotta go to the beach.
You gotta be by the water.
Yeah. I was wondering how your wife handles you being out at the ocean all the time. That must be tough.
No, she loves it. I mean, anybody who is going to get married to a guy named Rusty Shipp, they've got to be all in with all the nautical puns and all the ship-nanigans, as we call them. So she's all in. She's actually she initiates a lot of the nautical puns. And stuff.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
She's in on it. That's better.
Embracing the pirate life.
I was like, she's the one.
Yeah.
Yes, that's how you know. That's how you know.
She understands it. She's all in as well. And you guys have a new concept album on the way. Can you guys go in a little bit of detail on that and exactly what the concept is for us?
Yeah, so we did a concept album in our last album, Liquid Exorcist, but it was a lot smaller scale. So this time around, we're like, okay, let's flesh this out even more and do something bigger and more ambitious. So that's what this is. This is a full-length album, just under the 44-minute mark, so that it can be on vinyl. So
nice.
we never had a vinyl up to this point. But so it is very much story-based, and it follows the story of the album is called Dark Side of the Ocean. And it's literally about the dark side of the ocean that man has never explored. And it's kind of like, what could be down there? What mysteries are waiting for us down there where man has never been? And so we have a lot of fun with just creativity and imagination of what could be down there, like what sea monsters, what underwater civilizations or kingdoms are down there. And so we take the listener through this story that starts at the top of the ocean with this sailor who is basically drowning, and he's sinking. And as he's sinking, he encounters different things on his journey, different paranormal things, different monsters and weird things. And then, anyways, I'm not going to give too much away.
Yeah, we don't want no spoilers.
I know.
But it very much is. It's funny because it's very much a concept story-based album, and yet also it was made during the madness of 2020. And so it's like, this is a story-based album, but we've got to talk on a lot of these pressing issues that the whole world is wrestling with right now. And so this is very much a philosophical, issues-driven album. So
Yeah.
Nice. I was wondering, I mean, the issues are, I want to hear more about how that ties into the story, but I also am interested because I do have a fascination with like deep sea fish. So you have any, you ever seen the blobfish? Did you write a song about a blobfish? Because I'd be interested in that too.
No, but people are pretty pumped up because we finally have a song coming out about the Kraken.
Nice.
It's a big one. Perfect. It's a big one.
People are like, man, about time you guys write a song about the Kraken.
That's too perfect of a fish.
That's just like giving a real behind the scenes glimpse of what's coming down the pike.
Nice.
And so we're releasing our first single today, Bottom of the Barrel, but then we're going to be releasing some more singles later before the full album is released.
Yeah, that's what I want to know. Do you have a release date for the album? As I understand, your supporters have gotten a sneak peek, like they've gotten to hear it, but for the general public, is that coming out? Do we know yet?
We don't have a release date yet, but it's going to be several months from now. It's not going to be in the close immediate future. So it's kind of like the people that pre-ordered it, they're in the behind the scenes as far as the getting to hear the album before anybody else. It's like an exclusive thing. And it's still open, by the way. Like, even if people didn't pre-order for our campaign, if you want an advanced digital copy of the album, you can buy it before it's released on streaming services.
Sweet. So tell us about Bottom of the Barrel. We're about to play it here. Set the stage for everybody. What do we need to expect?
I think in some ways it's kind of standard Rusty Shipp fare. This song is we're try to push the envelope more on like rhythm and groove and beat. So there's a really weird, interesting rhythm of the main guitar riff. And we did that in some other songs as well on the album, trying to just do something that was like, just kind of interesting and innovative, but kind of groovy, and which we hadn't done as much in the past. So that's definitely a theme on this upcoming album. So Bottom of the Barrel, it's definitely got this groovy feel to it, but very catchy chorus. It definitely has a kind of a grungy rock vibe to it. And then lyrically, again, it's tying into the story about this guy who's basically sinking. And the song talks about as he's sinking, he's starting to drown, and his body starts to separate from his soul as he's sinking the further he gets. And he gets to the bottom of the ocean where it's all pitch black. But in the pitch black, he notices that there are lights at the bottom of the ocean because of bioluminescence with the different fish that are there, the different bioluminescent algae and stuff. And it's kind of this metaphor of no matter how dark it gets, there is still light to be found anywhere in the world. And the chorus of the song, it says, down at the bottom of the barrel, still your love is bottomless. And it's this idea that as far down as we can go in our lives, or as dark as it seems, God is there. It doesn't matter how far we can go. He's always going to be there. And it's like it says in Psalm 139, if I make my bed in Sheol, you're there. And if I ascend to the highest heavens, you're there. I can't escape from your presence. So that's what's going on in this song. And it even has a reference to that psalm when it says, if I make my bed in Mariana Trench, instead of if I make my bed in Sheol, because Mariana Trench is the deepest part of planet Earth in the ocean.
Nice. Well, now you've set the stage, and so you're going to get to hear it here, and you can go grab it or stream it wherever you get your music. Is that right?
That's right. Yep. You can stream it anywhere online. And again, if you'd like to hear the full album, you can find that on RustyShipp.com. That's Rusty Shipp with 2 P's.com.
Nice.
Beautiful.
Thanks, Rusty. This is it. This is your first taste of new Rusty Shipp, Bottom of the Barrel. It is The Riot.
If you missed out on the next Riot moment when it originally aired, you don't know how lucky you are. You're listening to the Worst of the Riot podcast.
Octopuses, octopi, as some people say. And now we have a theory published in, see if this sounds official to you, published in the journal Progress in Biophysics and Molecular Biology.
Sounds smarter than me.
Sounds like it could be a real publication, right? With like real scientists.
Smart people,
real
a group of them.
Learned biologists, perhaps, have come up with this. And in a new paper they published, they posit. Is that right? The right word?
What did you just say?
They posit.
They posit?
P-O-S-I-T.
I'm sorry, everybody.
I don't know.
I'm just sorry.
Yeah. I don't know why I said
I don't even know what word that is.
Posit. They posit.
Enough with the dictionary, all right? Give us the normal words.
Right. Sometimes I say words and then I'm not 100% sure about them. They are theorizing.
There we go.
That octopuses are from outer space.
They are.
They are? You believe it? You don't need any more evidence. You don't need to hear their findings.
I can confirm.
What, you've been to space? You've seen octopus in space?
It's not that I've been to space, but I've seen an octopus.
Yeah.
And I know when I look at one, that is out of the earth.
Out of this world, yeah.
It's out of this world. That's not what an animal / creature looks like here. Therefore, it is an alien, but it's a low-level one. It's not like a smart one. It's one of the lower-level aliens.
I have to stop you there. Octopuses are one of the most intelligent creatures on the planet.
Are they smarter than us?
No.
Exactly. So they're a low-level alien.
Why do we always assume that every alien is going to be smarter than us?
I'm not saying that. I said this is a low-level one. I'm sure there are ones that are smarter. This is a low-level alien.
You think?
Well, I mean, it hasn't killed us yet, has it?
Well, if it's an alien, why did it just hang out around here?
What do you mean, why does it hang out? Because it's a good spot.
Why does it go back where it came from?
Because it's, yet again, low-level alien. This isn't
It's not that smart. Not smart enough to
conquer.
escape. Not smart. Maybe they are. It's just a really slow process.
Yeah, I think that they're pretty content with their lifestyle here. But when you look at one, you can clearly tell that's an alien.
Yeah.
As I look at the photo here, I mean that's an alien.
It is hard to explain the existence of octopus when you look at them. They just don't make any sense.
There's no creature like them.
No, the way they move and the way that they, I don't even know. It's just an odd thing.
They ink? No one knows what that even means. No one knows what that means.
What is that?
No one knows.
This is all we're saying is what they're saying in the paper.
They're like, no one knows what ink is.
There's no actual findings. They're just like, what the heck is ink?
What the heck is
How
ink?
does an animal have ink, they say?
Exactly. Where are they creating this ink from? Why is it black? I don't understand. There's so many questions.
Yeah.
They also have tentacles. Alien.
Yeah.
What else would have tentacles?
No other animal has tentacles.
Why is tentacles even a word?
Yeah,
Like,
because of
that's-
octopus.
It's an alien thing.
They
They have suction cups at the end of their hands. It's an alien thing.
You think maybe octopuses, though, think about this. What if octopus are down at the bottom of the ocean, scurrying around, and they're having little meetings, and because they're pretty intelligent, like we said, maybe they're having the same research and saying this stuff about humans.
That we
They're
are
like,
aliens?
look at humans. They don't make any sense, they say.
They
They
could be
talk,
doing
they
that.
say words, they have hair, but only on a part of their body, kind of. Like they stand upright. It's a weird thing. They're not from this earth. Look at that.
See, I think that when I look longer and longer at this octopus, it's honestly getting scarier and scarier that this thing is a creature that lives on this planet. If I
Yeah.
ran into an octopus face to face, I would be extremely afraid.
I think they're friendly.
You think so?
I mean, either they're going to
Ugh.
hide, or have you ever seen My Octopus Teacher? They're going to befriend you over time.
No.
You build their trust, and it's a beautiful friendship.
This isn't Oswald here. This isn't a nice. This is not a nice octopus. It's gonna attack your face.
Come on.
You're gonna tentacle to the
friendly.
face.
They're a friendly alien.
Suction cup to the nose.
You were one of the lucky few who missed the riot when they were live. Yet here you are.
I also like to live dangerously.
This is the Worst of the Riot podcast.
Have you seen the viral TikTok that's going around?
I'm not Nick. We're gonna circle back. We've done this a couple times this week. I haven't. Nikki probably has.
Yeah.
I have not seen this viral TikTok
I guarantee
yet.
Nikki has seen this, and my wife said she's seen it too. So
Really?
Yeah.
I'm behind.
we're behind, but we found the news story about the TikTok, so now we can watch it. It takes place in Sioux Falls, South Dakota, where a police officer arrested a DoorDash driver. The problem was the DoorDash driver was in the midst of doing a DoorDash delivery.
Oh no.
So the police officer has to step in and actually deliver the food, because you can't let that food go to waste, right?
It's gotta be so
It's
cold.
not the DoorDash orderer's fault that their
No.
driver got arrested. So the police officer, whose name is Sam Clemens, it appears, actually winds up delivering the DoorDash food to the DoorDash orderer, who was Anastasia Elsinger. And that'd be quite the shock to see the police come to your door and they're not looking to arrest you or anything. But they're actually looking to give you food.
Just a little side money, I guess. The
Yeah.
police officers, instead of driving around pulling people over, they're just going to Arby's and picking up food for people.
Yeah.
And DoorDash. That'd be a great way, if you are a police officer, if you didn't feel like working really, you could just DoorDash the whole day and get paid double time, not pull a soul over.
That's a great idea, right?
Oh, yeah, because you're still
you could
cruising
pull-
around.
You could pull people over if you saw them misbehaving while you were out on your DoorDash
on your routes, but it
Yeah.
would kill your time though if you had to stop, pull
Probably.
them over. But at the same time though, I'm sure like police officers probably have like a little thing in their car. I have no idea, but I assume they have a little thing in their car that shows like their boss or whatever if they're moving around.
yeah,
and so
right.
if they would be moving around, they'd go to McDonald's, pick that up, and then they would come back to the station after a long day and they'd be
Yeah.
like, why did you stop at 11 fast food joints throughout the day? You're like, that was just a
lot
good
of-
spot for me to
just
pull in.
checking in. It's a trouble area.
Yeah, so it was a good spot for me to kind of park and be able to scan things out. You know?
Yeah, right. So I think you say it would kill your time if you started pulling people over. But think about this, though. You could just flip on the lights and make up your time.
You could.
Right?
You could just
Right?
you could just abuse the power. You could turn the lights on. You could get there so fast.
So what do you think, though? Police officer comes and knocks on your door. You ever had that happen before?
I have not had that happen. Police have never
haven't?
shown. Has it happened to you?
Now I'm trying to think.
Well, do you
I
answer
think I
the
would
door?
remember it. I mean, it's happened here at the station.
Yeah.
But has it happened at my house?
At your house.
I don't think it has.
Do you answer the door if the police are out
Well,
there?
you
or
have
no?
to, right?
Well, no, you don't have to answer.
Yes, Yeah, if you've got something to hide.
If you're scared,
Yeah.
or if you're not much of a maybe you just didn't want to talk that day.
See,
you just don't answer.
You wouldn't answer the door because you had unpaid parking tickets.
Yeah, well, I paid them all. I paid them now.
Now you can answer the door for the police in peace, but before you didn't know what they might be there to tell you.
The police would be afraid to come to my door because if they knocked at my door, I'd be yelling at Jim.
Yeah.
Jim, back! back, Jim,
same thing
back!
at my house. Same thing at my house. There's the police they'd probably be preparing for a fight if they heard the way my dog was going crazy.
Oh, Jim would he'd be barking like crazy. He sounds real scary behind the door. He has this super loud bark, and then once you open the door, you realize he's an oversized wiener dog, and he's not scary at all. He'd just come up and lick your face.
But coming back to the original story, though, if you got this order on DoorDash, you know what sucks though is probably the food would be cold. You have to be right about that.
It's got to be cold.
So you have to give the DoorDash driver a 1 star. The worst review. Do they even get a tip?
No.
Can you tip the police officer?
No.
That's what you should do.
Do you tip him? I don't know.
You should.
But the reason
He delivered it.
The reason your food's cold is because of the police officer.
No, it's because the DoorDash driver was not driving correctly.
If it weren't for him,
if it wasn't for the DoorDash, if the DoorDash driver followed the law.
You just heard the worst of the worst. We'd give you the best of the best, but we'd have to find that. As soon as we do, you'll be the first to know.